Yo, do you own a heat press? These are the channels you should be watching.
Big Sife.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the number one, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there, and I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando, let's go!
What's happening, everybody? Boy, Big Brando, and today let's talk about YouTube content creators that own heat presses. This is a question I want everybody to try to answer for me. If you have time, put it in the comments right now. Why exactly do you watch my channel? And also, how'd you find my channel? Now, there's a really big misconception around YouTube and the t-shirt content creator space. I know because I'm part of that space. I've helped build this space up, but I understand there's a lot of confusion for the viewer and content consumer. And that misconception is there's only one way to run your business. There's only one way to sell t-shirts. There's only one way to set up your shop. There's only one way to operate from home. There's only one heat press to use, one transfer company to use. The list goes on and on and on. I'm here to tell you that's not true. There's a million different ways to do this thing. There's a million different heat presses out there, million different transfer companies. There's a million different ways to run this thing and start a business from home. What you, the content consumer, needs to do is watch the people that do what you want to do. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that have Etsy shops. I don't have an Etsy shop. I don't have an Etsy store. I've never sold on Etsy before. So I can't give that kind of information out. Right? A lot of the stuff that I talk about is built around my own website, having Shopify. Is Shopify the only online store platform? No, there's a million other ones out there. That's just the one that I use. So if you own an Etsy shop and you're looking for t-shirt related advice and stuff like that, a lot of times I can't cater to the Etsy audience because I don't know nothing about Etsy. And if I tried to lie and pretend like I did, then I'd just be blowing smoke up somebody's ass out there. And I'd just be faking it just for the views. I can't do that. I can only talk about the stuff that I actually do. But I can say this, there's a lot of dope content creators out there that have Etsy shops and teach you how to sell on Etsy. One of them being is Rich from the Hustle Ninjas. I think he has courses. I know he has a ton of YouTube content around Etsy and running a brand and stuff like that. You could watch him. That guy will tell you how to do it. He'll show you how to do it, shows you how to do it on a large scale, and he shows you how to get to that large scale. Now on the other end, you have people like Tony, Odyssey Rock. Matter of fact, I'm gonna link everybody that I talk about in this video here in the description box, and then you guys can follow up and then you guys could actually see what they're doing. But Odyssey Rock owns an Etsy shop. He shows exactly what he's selling, how he's selling it, how he's fulfilling the orders, how he designs a lot of the stuff that he puts on his Etsy shop. Very transparent in what he's explaining. Rich from Hustle Ninjas, Tony from Odyssey Rock, these guys are teaching you and showing you stuff that I cannot show you. Because like I said, I don't own an Etsy store and they have a different process on how they do things. They have a different way of delivering the message to you guys. They have a different way of teaching. It only benefits you guys, the viewer or the content consumer, to watch the people that are doing exactly what you want to do. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because a lot of people always tag me in like Gary V videos. And a lot of you guys know who Gary V is. Crazy inspirational, crazy motivational, and crazy successful. He knows this social media marketing stuff down to a T. He's figured it out. He understands it. He teaches people about it. A lot of times when he's speaking at a conference, he's talking to executives. He's talking to big corporations that have big marketing budgets. So the clips that we see on social media, he'll be like, Instagram ads are underpriced. Throw $10,000. If you're not throwing $10,000 at Instagram marketing, you're losing out because it's underpriced right now. He's speaking to big corporations that are used to paying $75,000 for a commercial. So $10,000 to them is underpriced, and $10,000 to them ain't nothing. But to the small business, home business that's watching those videos to get inspired, hears that and is like, oh man, Instagram ads underpriced, I need to jump in. He's talking about $10,000. We're talking about $10. That's all we could afford on Instagram marketing. You know what I mean? So while his videos are very inspirational and motivational, and he's speaking nothing but truth and facts because he does this for a living, some of that information doesn't apply to me because I don't have that same budget. So every time people tag me in those videos, I gotta be like, hey, that's good information, it's just not for me. And And then they take it as, what? You don't know more than Gary Vee. Gary Vee knows everything. And yeah, Gary Vee knows everything. But what I know is what my budget is. And my budget does not fit what Gary's talking about, which leads me to this video. Is there's a lot of content out there, but a lot of content doesn't apply to everybody. You have to watch the content that applies to you. I get a lot of questions about my shop. My shop here, I have no screen print equipment here in this shop or in the other shops or the new shop that we're opening. There's no screen print equipment whatsoever. The questions I always get is, how do I start a screen print shop? That to me is the craziest thing because I don't show that on this channel and I don't own a screen print shop now. I used to screen print a long time ago, late 90s, early 2000s. I've had a shop. I've operated out of my home, out of my garage, out of my bedroom. I know what it's like to have that kind of setup and operation. When people hit me up and say, hey man, how can I set up a screen print shop? I want to do DTG and screen printing and all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, you know who you should watch? If you wanted to know how to run an actual shop and do contract printing and print for yourself from home, the homie Rhybeats. Rhybeats is the perfect example of that. He does screen printing. He has a full screen print setup at his house. He shows you exactly what he's doing, how he's doing it. He has an embroidery machine at his house. And I think he has a DTF printer at his house. He's a full legitimate shop at home, operating fully. And he puts out really dope content. That's who you should be watching. If you wanted to open up and operate a screen print shop or a full-fledged print shop from home out of your garage, Rhybeats is who you should be watching because he's showing you exactly what he's doing. And I also think he's in the sticker business. I think he makes stickers, like die cut stickers. He does embroidery, does screen printing. I believe he has a DTF printer or he uses DTF transfers, something like that. But he does everything from home and he shows you exactly what he's doing. Does a lot of live chats, live streams, a lot of production videos. That's who you guys should be watching. Now, if you wanted to open up an actual shop and do real big contract printing, watch Heart and Hustle. Heart and Hustle has the craziest family business going. He sells vinyl, he screen prints, embroidery, he does DTG, DTF, I think he does sublimation, but you could watch the growth on his channel of what he's doing, the shop that he's working in, when he gets new equipment in, how he's using that new equipment for his business, how he keeps expanding. All of that stuff is on there for you guys. So if you wanted to know how to actually run a shop that does contract printing 100% of the time and sells vinyl and blank goods, watch Heart and Hustle. He shows everything crazy. He has, I think, like a 6-head embroidery machine, or he might have 2 of those. He has a bunch of single head machines. He does screen printing. He has DTG, DTF. He's doing it all, man. But the content he makes is showing you exactly what he's doing, right? The whole shop, how he runs the business, all of that good stuff. So remember, when I say watch the people that are doing exactly what you want to do, it makes more sense to you. Now, I also know that there's people out there that don't have a garage or don't have money for a big shop, or maybe they don't have the capital or the clients to open a big shop yet. So a lot of people are operating out of home, right? They'll find a little space in their bedroom. Maybe it's in their living room. Maybe it's in your dorm room. You can still get by. You can still plug in a heat press. You can still plug in a vinyl cutter. You can still get going and make money from home. Good people to watch for that kind of content that's doing it from home is the homie Diz Majiz. Like, this guy's at Comic-Con everywhere. He's selling t-shirts, cups, mugs. He's doing his own brand. He's doing all kind of stuff, but he operates from home. He shows a lot of the stuff, like the DIY stuff on how to actually make certain things, how to make your own step and repeat backdrop, how to make tablecloths, all the small stuff that comes with his branding. He's doing it all from home, and he vends at these huge shows, and he's showing you how he sets up for the show, how he preps for the show, the thought process behind what he's doing. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but I know he has an Instagram. If you wanted to see how somebody's operating from home and vending at these big shows and being right next to the big dogs at these big shows, he's a perfect guy to see what DIY is really like. And the other person that I would say is running a really good business and creating content from home is the t-shirt buddy. I think he just got a DTF printer, and he's showing exactly how he's setting it up, how he's making money with the DTF printer, but he's operating from home. He's fulfilling orders. He's pressing up shirts, very transparent on what he's doing and how he's doing it. Big on Instagram. I know he has a YouTube channel. I even think he does sublimation, and I want to say he still sells sublimation paper. Now, the reason I'm making this video isn't just to shout people out and stuff like that, but it's to get people to understand that we all run our businesses differently. We all might have the same equipment, but everybody I mentioned in this video does something different. Like I said, we have the same equipment. We're selling t-shirts. We all sell t-shirts, but we're all doing it different. There's not just one way to run this thing. So when you watch the videos, think to yourself, all right, I'm operating like this. I want to see somebody operate the same exact way that I am. Who should I watch? Because the information will sound a lot different to you that way, right? So I'm talking about running brands. You guys hear me talk about running brands and making shirts for your brand and my marketing strategy for a brand. If you're not running a brand, the information I share with you might not apply 100% to you. There might be some little nuggets in there of information that you might be able to take in, but it's geared towards somebody else. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to run a brand just because you have a heat press, but I'm just explaining to you how the information that I share might sound different to you because you're not in the same exact business as me. And that's something that I get caught up in all the time. When I sit down and I make these videos, I'm speaking to a certain somebody. But what I forget is there's a lot of other people that watch the videos that might not be in the same business as me, but they're retaining the information. And then they're trying to figure out, all right, how does this information work for me and my setup or what I'm trying to do here? And then that information might sound very foreign to that person because they're like, hey, wait a minute, he's talking about doing this, but that doesn't really work for me. So is he giving me the right information? And I forget about that all the time. That's my mistake. My mistake is I get so much into that little tunnel vision mode where I'm speaking to a certain somebody and I'm forgetting that there's a lot of other people watching. So I feel like videos like this will give you a better idea on one, where I'm coming from when I make my content, but two, there's so many other content creators out there that on the grand scheme of things might sound like we all do the same thing, but at the end of the day, it's a lot different than what each person does. Like I said, running a shop, working from home, selling on your own website or selling on Etsy, buying transfers because you can't afford a printer, or you're looking into buying a DTF printer and selling transfers yourself. At the end of the day, we all got the same equipment in our possession: heat presses, embroidery machines, vinyl cutters, printers, whatever it is, but we're all doing something a little bit different. Keep that in the back of your head. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Like I said, how'd you find out about my channel and why do you watch my channel? Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.